What's up guys, my name is Teriosi Sule and I am a pastry chef slash content creator, and I am now going to be doing my Q&A for my TikTok Culinary School series. Y'all have been asking me to do this for a while now, and I finally posted on Instagram what questions did y'all have for me to answer, and y'all all put them through, and now I'm going to answer the majority of the questions. So let's get to it. Okay, so one of the most asked questions on here is what school do you go to? So I actually go to El Centro in Dallas. That's located in Texas and everything. We have two campuses, one in downtown Dallas and then one in the North Campus, which is North Dallas. Depending on what your major is and then what classes you have to take, you might be having to go back and forth to both campuses, but primarily most of the time you will be staying at one campus. Okay, so another question was, is culinary school hard to get into? So since my culinary school is actually a part of a community college, if you just sign up, you're automatically enrolled. But I know when it comes to other universities, which are kind of bigger, like Johnson & Wales and CIA, those are the types that you actually have to apply and then put in your GPA and all those things. So it just all depends on what school you want to go to. Is culinary school hard? It honestly depends on the type of person you are. So if you kind of have experience in the food industry already, you might be more comfortable in doing things and you'll have like a better understanding. But if you don't, you're kind of going to be in the fog. But regardless of that, you're still going to have classes that teach you everything from the basics up to everything advanced. So regardless, you're going to be fine. For example, I have classes like breads and rolls and cake decorating, and in comparison, like I excel in cake decorating because I already know what to do and I already have a little experience in it. But then when it comes to classes like breads and rolls, where I don't have that much experience in breads, I kind of do struggle in some types of ways. But regardless, I just ask my teacher for help, or I ask her for some advice, or I even do some research at home just so I feel more comfortable when I walk into class, so I know what I'm doing. And most of the times, the students don't really have experience in that type of field, so everyone is kind of in the fog, so you won't feel as uncomfortable when it comes to like actually trying to make something. Okay, so another question was, how expensive was tuition plus materials? Honestly speaking, community colleges are not really that expensive. They range from like $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000. But even with my community college, I kind of signed up for this program called Dallas Promise, which covered everything from tuition to books and equipment. So, okay, so how specialized is it? If you're talking about majors, I believe that it goes into like multiple, like about 6 or 7. But for my culinary school, it just goes from baking and pastry to culinary arts, and then you can also get certificates in like cake decorating or things of that nature. Now, if you're going to like a university, you can do things like a bachelor's in food science, a bachelor's in food management, a bachelor's in hospitality management, and it just ranges from there. And I've even heard of like some culinary schools that do an associate's degree in cake decorating because it's so fast. But for my school, I just know of culinary arts and baking and pastry. Okay, so another question is, what are the books you use? Okay, so I don't have all of my books right here, but I do have this one, which is like my hospitality book. And then I also have other books that I bought because I just want to learn more about pastries and petit fours and everything. So this is another one. And this is a good book that basically is kind of like the same that my culinary school has, and it's like on baking, so it teaches you everything from quick breads to chocolates and all that good stuff. Okay, so what does your day look like in culinary school? Okay, so I'm so tired when I start my classes. I'm literally exhausted. But basically, so I wake up at about 6:30 a.m. I get ready for class. I get all my equipment ready because we have, you know, a culinary book bag, and like by the time it's 8 a.m. the class should be starting, and then they should actually be explaining what we're going to be going over that day, and not you just getting ready for like 10 minutes or something. Okay, so this is a good one as well. What kind of writing assignments do you have? So that really depends on what classes you're taking again, but usually when you have writing assignments, it's and I wouldn't necessarily call them writing assignments. If you have assignments at all, it's usually like culinary math. So they're going to be giving you equations to do, food percentages, baker percentage, that's a big one too, costing forms, and you're just going to be learning how to get profit back and how to do equations if you need to change the quantity of a recipe. So those are some of the assignments that you'll be getting from the written portion, and then you'll also be getting like multiple choice question tests that will be over chapter 3 in the book. So they'll be like, hey, make sure you read chapter 3 and chapter 4, and then you'll have a quiz over it, and those will be online. Okay, so another question was, how do you deal with the nerves? I was really nervous when I first started culinary school, just because I know for sure that I think I was late for my first day. Like, so I was already embarrassed. I was already like, maybe I should have skipped the first day of school and then come the next day. But I was like, you know what? Might as well just go in and just get it over with, because you'll literally have people who have experience and everything, and then you'll have people who don't have experience, and it even ranges from the classes too. So it's like, you might have experience in breads, but the next time that you have class with one of your classmates, they might not have any experience in cakes, and you'll have experience in that. So I feel like when it comes to nerves, you can't really think about that stuff. You just have to be like, oh, okay, this is all a learning experience. That's how I think about it now. It's like, oh yeah, it's a learning experience, so you don't have to worry about anyone else. They don't have to worry about you. And then you can just keep going on with your day, because everyone's expectations is just to come to class and to learn. Another good question. Do you really think culinary school is worth it? It really depends on what you're trying to do with your life. Are you trying to go into the business aspect of it? Are you trying to be an entrepreneur, a social media influencer, or a chef educator? Now, I always tell everyone, if you're not sure or certain about culinary school, and then you want to go to like one of the biggest culinary schools in America, and then you want to pay thousands of dollars just to not use your degree, I don't necessarily think that's a good option. But if you want to go to a community college and then spend like a few thousands of dollars and then still learn some type of knowledge on food, then I feel like that's a better thing for people to do. Because I mean, you only live once. It's only about 2 years of your life, and if you don't like it, you can always drop out. But I'd rather it be you dropping out of like a smaller school than something that's going to put you in debt afterwards, because that's another big thing. Being in debt once you get out of culinary school, that's kind of a big deal, because our actual industry doesn't really pay enough to the point where you can pay off your tuition and then also move out of your house and then also be paying for your car as well. You see what I'm saying? So it really just depends on how you're trying to take your life. Guys, so this is the end of the video. So I hope you all at least learned something, or at least opened your eyes more to culinary school. And if you want a part 2, just let me know, and then you can put it in the comment section and then ask your questions there as well.